From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
The snow has arrived across portions of mid-Michigan this afternoon. Our satellite and radar right along I-96, that's the first round of snow, but there is more developing to the southwest. So bottom line is snow is in the forecast tonight. Future radar over the next 6 hours shows that next push of snow pushing into the area later tonight. It won't be terribly heavy, but eventually it starts to add up and will make for a slippery morning commute. Accumulations over the next 6 hours should be very light. We'll get much more into how much to expect tonight and into Friday coming up in just a few minutes. Temperature-wise, we're of course at or below freezing, so everything's going to stick. 28 in Jackson, still 33 in Adrian, but we'll drop below freezing across southern sections fairly soon. Forecast for tonight, count on some snowfall out there, some slippery travel as temperatures basically just hold in the upper 20s through early tomorrow morning. More cold weather for tomorrow and more snow showers to talk about than single-digit lows for the weekend. 6 News at 5 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5.
At first, they didn't succeed, so now Eaton County is talking taxes again. It is our top story today at 5. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones. Officials from both parties in Eaton County said they were facing a multi-million-dollar deficit and spent the summer warning residents what would happen if they didn't arrive and approve of raising their taxes when they went to the ballot box in November. But it just didn't work. Voters narrowly shot down the request to help keep the county afloat, though it was close. The measure failed by 1,600 votes out of more than 50,000 that were cast. So now county officials have decided to ask again. And our Karina Prieto is here for you with those details. Karina?
Sherry, if you recall, there was a full court press by county officials, including the Democratic sheriff and the Republican prosecutor. They warned residents of a deep cut to county budget and to public safety, especially because the courts, prosecutor's office, and sheriff's department make up about 2/3 of the county budget. With a tax increase, the county was looking at laying off around 100 people, about a quarter of its employees, to help cover a more than $20 million shortfall in the 2026-27 fiscal year. About a week after the election, the county followed through on its threats, cutting 3 deputies from the afternoon shift and leaving the state police to cover much of the county at night. So now the Eaton County Board of Commissioners is asking again, but instead of helping fund the whole county, this request is focused on public safety, including the sheriff's office, the prosecutor, and animal control. And instead of asking for a 3 mil increase like they did in November, this ask is only for 2. Voters will decide whether they can afford that increase when they go to the polls in May. County officials say it won't solve all of their problems, and there still might be some cuts, but they say if approved, it'll be, quote, a step in the right direction. Sherry?
Thank you, Karina. Well, in Washington, the clock is ticking toward a possible government shutdown after a bipartisan deal to keep it open fell apart yesterday. The shutdown will take effect on Friday night at midnight if no deal can be reached. Now, lawmakers are trying to figure out a new way forward. Natalie Brand is here for you with the latest on the looming shutdown.
Less than 24 hours after a bipartisan deal unraveled, Republicans are divided over how to move forward.
This is a situation created by Mike Johnson and his leadership team, who clearly failed to coordinate with President Trump, failed to coordinate with their own members, created this bill that's a disaster.
President-elect Donald Trump upended the initial agreement late Wednesday. He told CBS News' Robert Costa that the bill included too many concessions for Democrats, and he now says that any deal that doesn't remove a law limiting how much money the federal government can borrow. House Democrats say this is a problem of the Republicans' own making.
We are prepared to move forward with the bipartisan agreement that we thought was negotiated in good faith with House Republicans, along with Senate Democrats and Senate Republicans.
While some Republicans are calling for a narrow stopgap measure to avoid a shutdown, others are insisting $100 billion in disaster relief must be included.
We're talking about a possible government shutdown here in Washington. Well, there are parts of this country that have been affected by the storm who are effectively shut down. And until we fund them, they have no hope.
The latest funding fight also has some Republicans raising questions about Mike Johnson's future as House Speaker.
This is what you get with Mike Johnson. You get total capitulation.
The new Congress will vote for House Speaker January 3rd. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Also in Washington, Senator Gary Peters met with former U.S. Representative Sean Duffy, President-elect Trump's intended nominee to serve as Secretary of Transportation. He issued a statement saying that he made it clear to the former congressman that a top priority is making sure the future of the auto industry is built in Michigan, and pressed him to commit to working toward that goal if he's confirmed as Secretary of Transportation. Back here in Michigan, the House of Representatives has adjourned until New Year's Eve after failing to get enough members to show up. Now, earlier the Speaker ordered the Sergeant at Arms and potentially the Michigan State Police to round up members and then lock them in their Capitol chamber. He issued the rare call of the House this afternoon after the 54 Republican members and one Democrat decided not to show up for votes. Capitol correspondent Tim Skubic will have more on this unusual activity and what could come next for us tonight on 6 News at 6. Well, thousands of Amazon workers are hitting the picket lines in the height of the busy holiday shipping season. Workers in New York City, Illinois, parts of California, and Atlanta walked off the job early this morning, demanding better pay and working conditions. The Teamsters union representing these workers says Amazon has been unwilling to negotiate. But in a statement, Amazon says the Teamsters claim to represent, quote, thousands of Amazon employees and drivers, which they don't.
This is a fairly isolated set of incidents relative to Amazon's larger network. And in many instances, Amazon has the same product at multiple fulfillment centers around certain geographic markets. So even if that item is not coming from facility 1 that's on strike, it may be at facility 3 or 4.
Amazon adds the Teamsters have actively threatened, intimidated, and attempted to coerce Amazon employees, which is illegal, they're claiming. The Teamsters represent only about 1% of Amazon's hourly workforce.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, snowfall is in the area this afternoon and will continue into the overnight hours as well. And that, of course, gets us in the mood for the upcoming holiday. And it's time, of course, for our holiday lights. Another fantastic picture from Valerie. I mean, that's a lot going on, right, Sherry?
Look at that teddy bear with the
Do you see that? I know, so cute. But I was looking back there at the snowman. I really like that snowman. You see him back there? Yeah, got the deer. Love it all, and would love to see more. We've got a little time left for you to enter your holiday lights. Just head to WLS.com/holiday-lights. Now let's talk some festive snowfall, but not so festive road conditions. It's been fine most of the day, but now we're starting to get some icy patches forming. Tonight into tomorrow morning is the worst of it. Roads may be a little bit snow covered, even though the snow is fairly light. Then things will improve during the afternoon hours, and we're back in good shape on Saturday. Here's a look at precision cast snow through tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, 1 to 2 inches generally across the area, trace to an inch. Either way, still some snow yet to come. And once you total it all up, I think around 1 to 2, maybe as much as 3 inches should be the general rule. Some spots 1 to 2, just depends on where some individual bands set up. But it's not a huge snow for us, but of course it will create problems given that it's coming during the morning or even the evening commute, but tomorrow morning's commute as well. A little heavier to our north. Notice Mount Pleasant at 2 to 4. There'll be some 3 to 6 inch amounts across central sections of lower Michigan as well, and that'll be the heaviest of this particular snowfall event. A look at the satellite and radar. First little band of snow. Been pretty impressive this afternoon, a little bit more than I anticipated by this point. As we move through the late evening hours, low pressure passes to our south. The snow fills in through tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Then it begins to break up. Just a few leftover flurries or snow showers tomorrow evening at 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Our system continues to push away. That will continue to push in a drying trend as we head into Saturday. So Saturday morning, mostly cloudy skies, high pressure to our north. We may get a little sunshine out there on Saturday. We'll see how much we can break up those clouds. However, sometimes they kind of hang stubborn across the area. A look at our Skyview network. Visibility reduced currently on the McLaren Cam with some light to moderate snow coming down. Temperature at 30 degrees, made up to 32. That's as warm as we got today. And as expected, we really didn't fall much last night at 28. In Grand Ledge, visibility not too bad. Some light snow. Temperatures at 29 degrees. Today's high was 31. Morning low down to 28. In Jackson, we're dry currently. Our current temperature at 30 degrees after a high of 31 and morning low of 28. Same thing in Hillsdale. The snow is right along 96, so southern section still waiting for some snowfall. We're at 31 in Hillsdale after a morning low of 28 and a wind gust today up to miles per hour. A few other numbers around the area: 29 degrees in Howell, same thing in Mason, 29 in St. John, so everyone below freezing. So be careful out there tonight. Light snow on the way, low temperature down to 28 degrees as we head into tomorrow. We're not going to budge temperature-wise, only climbing back to the lower 30s, and the chance for at least a couple isolated snow showers even through tomorrow afternoon. The 6-day forecast for tomorrow, because of the morning snow during the morning commute, weather aware day. 23 on Saturday afternoon, 7 the low Sunday morning. Looks like our system's going to get out of here by Monday evening, so that's going to go with probably some sort of wintry mix to rain showers, and then it starts to warm up with 40s for highs on Wednesday. We could be getting close to 50 next weekend, still looking at some rain and a slow cooling trend once we get beyond next weekend.
You know, with this roller coaster weather and people driving, just give yourself some extra time.
Right. Better make it there and take your time than try to rush.
That's right, because it's really coming down out there and quickly.
Yeah, and temperatures are below freezing, so especially bridges and overpasses, they'll get some slick spots. If you saw yesterday's Weather Wednesday,
oh yeah,
we talked about that.
Sure did.
Bridges and overpasses.
Thank you, David. Well, coming up on 6